Welcome, traveler. You are now listening to Castle Black, the blackest House of Dragon podcast in all the realms.
Castle Black by For All Nerds is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcast, live events, website, and more, are independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Castle Black. So this is the seat of the Night's Watch.
And welcome, internets, to another episode of Castle Black, the blackest House of Dragon podcast in all the realms, powered by For All Nerds, where we discuss everything in the worlds of Game of Thrones from the perspective of people of color. And it is one of your hosts, Tatiana King, aka the Lord of Lightsabers. And it's a full house today. Of course, you have the Daughters of the Dragon, but also returning triumphantly, the Duke of the Dragons is back, Mr. Sir, right? S-E-R, Sir BenHaMeen. Please reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, it feels weird. I'm now a guest on a show that I started. It's your boy, DJ BenHaMeen, a.k.a. Ben-Ha of the Means. A man has no shame. Little Twitter fingers, wade in the Walder fray. Sir Christian Cold as Ice, Aegon the Masturbator, Dracarys Patronus, spin the block on Castle Rock and catch these hands of the king because I want to know who wants that sea smoke.
Oh my God! Drop the flex bombs, drop them, drop them. This shit is crazy. Who wants to see smoke?
We back. Spin the block on Castle Rock, baby. We out here.
Nah, because the Aegon one got it. We can't.
No.
He ain't a conqueror, folks. You know,
No.
I mean, he conquered something, but
Wow, what a reintroduction. Thank you coming back to your own show. But we got to give the spotlight to the Porshea. Porshea Dragon Riders are forever this week. Please take it away.
Hi, everyone. It's Porshea, a.k.a. Lady Mary Jane of Highgarden, a.k.a. Maester of Disguise, a.k.a. The Three-Eyed Ravenclaw. And this week, I am Black Girls Live and Die Dracarys.
Ooh, got you. Damn, that shit is rough. Wow. Okay. And of course, we have the Miss, she be saying any motherfucking thing, but you gotta love her for it, Chika Supreme.
Hey everybody, this is Chika, aka Chika Supreme, aka the Sea Snake's Loctician, aka Laena Lights My Flame.
All
Rip.
right.
I always be saying rip in my AKAs, rip, y'all.
Well, I feel like this is every week you gotta say rip, right? This is Game of Thrones we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. But yes, we are back. The Castle of Black is full, and we are here to talk episode 6, titled The Princess and the Queen of House of Dragon, directed by Michael Sapochnik, written by Sarah Hess. And what we have here, just to kind of set the tone here, 10 years have passed since we've last seen Alicent and Rhaenyra. So lots have happened during that time. Remember when we left off, Alicent essentially declared war on Rhaenyra, and some things have changed, right? As we talk about everything that happened in this episode, we're going to go through the things we loved, the things we hated or disliked, as well as some of our views of what the future of the House of Dragons is going to look like and some other things, right? So let's talk all things episode 6. As mentioned, we got to get started with the things we love, the things we enjoyed about episode 6. Chika, I want you to start.
Okay, so what I loved is that, Laenor is a supportive beard, okay? He was like, you know what, Raina? Wait, you just gave birth, right? Did it hurt? Which is a dumbass question.
Wait.
But
How is he supportive?
yeah.
In this one moment, I'm going to give him his one moment, because the rest of the time, the rest of the episode, he ain't shit. But at least in the beginning, when she had the baby, he showed up. He was like, oh, hey, what's going on? Wait, where are we going? And he helped her up the stairs.
I think he was just showing out because there was people around.
I mean, yes, but then he's still helpful. It's do it. So, he helped her up the stairs. They get to the room. And then he also tried to get Rhaenyra out of the room because she gave him that look like, get me the fuck out of here, when Alicent was trying to touch on the baby and stuff. And so he tried. So I'm going to give it to him. He did his best. And his dreadlocks look okay.
All right, Chika, I guess I'll give it to you. Comparatively, yeah, I guess. But men's hair ain't right. That's not crisp at all.
No. Like you said, comparatively, I mean, the dreads are terrible. We have to accept that. What are we, episode 6 now? It is not getting better. No one ever comes fresh. It's always looking rough. It's like mops on their head and, little clouds with some hair attached. It ain't right. So, no.
It ain't right. It's a little better. I just wanted to give him that because that's all I could give him.
The no fade just kills me when I see that on black men. You know what I mean? When it's just like bald, there's no type of fade action.
Why wasn't he just fully bald then? If he could do all of that,
well, then he wouldn't. That he wouldn't be of Valyrian blood. You gotta have the long, beautiful platinum blonde hair. Remember,
they did Rhaegar dirty. Rhaegar's hair was like a soccer mom haircut, and that wig was disastrous and greasy looking. So
he was ugly. I don't know why they were
to be ugly.
He was supposed to be. They were talking. They said he was supposed to be fine.
He was supposed to be the Henry Cavill of Game of Thrones. That's what
he's supposed to be. The only nigga with beautiful with platinum blonde hair is The Witcher. We don't fuck with nobody else in the Game of Thrones land. The rest of these niggas is ugly. No. Number one. Number two.
Wait, no love for Corlys?
Well, I'm not talking about Corlys. We talking about the niggas that hair don't look right. Corlys is the only one whose hair is halfway decent.
I'm not talking about their hair. I'm just talking about how they look.
Oh, Corlys. Oh no.
Daenerys' brother looked okay. He was just
that man was frail.
Yeah, he was very frail.
But
he's very frail.
I'm sorry.
He looked better with that gold on his head.
Sorry, David Tyrant. Right? Ain't that his son? I'm sorry. Don't do it for me.
Portia, give me something you liked about episode 6.
Something I liked was the fact that, Lady Laena, I knew I was gonna love her. She came through last episode at the royal dinner, and for that whole proposal or engagement party that went wrong. She was everything already then. I was already okay, spotlight on her. We're following her everywhere she goes. She came through this episode. She gave us Diplomat. She gave us Mother of Dragons. She gave us Mother of Black Girl Dragon Riders. She gave us Daemon's match and foil. She gave us everything we really needed to see. She gave us Queen, but in lady form. She really gave us everything we needed. She's riding Vhagar, the black dragon. She's
the largest dragon in the world.
Something that the original conqueror, the dragon that the original conquerors who came over to Westeros were effing with. That's how much everyone sees it for her, okay? The oldest dragon, because dragons do not F around, especially with the older ones. That dragon saw it for her when she was 15. So no. While she was at the same age she was at the last time we saw her last episode. So yes, she's the best. And she's the best thing about this episode, to be honest. Yeah, and we'll get into the why that's so sad later on. But I really I stand Lady Laena, and I'm glad that we got her in the form that we got her in the TV show, because they did her justice in a way that the book didn't. So I'm really glad we got her in this form.
Okay. Well, rest in power, Lady Laena. That's fucked up how you went out, my nigga. But I guess you did it on your own volition. But goddamn, listen, I have a question for you though, Portia. What happens now to Vhagar? His rider is out.
He is an old ornery dragon. Okay, it was luck, and again, him seeing it for Laena, for her to even ride this big old dragon.
Okay.
He's gonna do what he feels like doing. Because how are you gonna tell an old dragon what to do if he doesn't want to ride you? If he doesn't want you to ride on him?
Wait,
so dragons don't bind themselves to another rider?
But he did though, because he was originally ridden by one of the conquerors. So no, they can, But how Vhagar moves and how old this old bone dragon is, who
He's
is he
like
effing
T-Rex.
with?
Yeah. Okay.
Rhaena could take him though.
Mhm.
Like she was talking about it. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I
Yep.
don't have a dragon, and
Yep.
then
That's what I
Laena
was
was
thinking.
talking to her about it.
Do old okay, he's ornery. He's old.
Mhm.
She's timid. She's like, I don't know, can I ride a dragon? Like, you gotta think about their natures.
Right. But she got the blood of her mother in her, right?
Yep.
Like,
Right.
that's, I don't think the
Fine,
dragon
He
would
but
gonna
she
smell
has
it.
to be able to step to that dragon in a way that he'll respect her. And that's the main thing. So if she can do that, if she owns up to that, maybe.
If them
But-
plain-faced boys can step to them dragons, I think that she'll be fine. Look. I
No,
got my
they stepped
money
to
on it.
like those were hatchlings. Those were
Yeah, I
dragon
know, that's what I'm
hatchlings that
saying.
hatched when they
and this is a black woman.
Right.
BenHaMeen, since you're speaking so eloquently about the black woman, please tell us, what did you like about episode 6?
I mean, what Portia said,
Yes.
Laena was definitely life. Like you said, she was amazing. I just loved her. I loved, like you said, she represented so many sides. I also love the new actresses who stepped in for Alicent and I'm gonna butcher that one.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
Ray.
Ray.
Call her Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Little Ray over there. So
Ray
I
Ray.
love the one who stepped in for her because both of them were doing such a fantastic job. And from the moment this episode started, I was on it with the new actresses or actors. So that was dope for me. And then it's kind of like how we talk about She-Hulk. The things that I love about this show are the things that I dislike about it, but it's also why I love it. That this
Right.
show is a full-on, out of control, outrageous
Outrageous.
soap
completely.
opera. Just
Completely.
like, I know y'all said this before when I told you this, Tatiana, that this show is power. Like, if Game of
Mhm.
Thrones was the Wire of fantasy shows, and it was for some of them seasons,
For some of them.
this is the power of fantasy shows. And it's not like it's a bad thing to be the power because I love power. Power
It's-
just knows what it is.
It's entertaining.
And House of Dragons knows what it is. Like, it's got a man at the end of this episode after murdering his father and brother, and the queen acting like this man wasn't gonna murder his father and brother. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you murdered your father and brother. Clutch the pearls." And my man is over here plucking flowers like, I know you'll repay me one day.
He was like the old school. He was like he might as well be twirling the mustache at
Might
this
as well
point,
be a
right?
Scooby-Doo villain at this point, dog. This shit
Yeah.
ridiculous, but I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I hated Laris and I loved him in this episode because I
Yeah.
thought it was ridiculous how he burns down his whole crib. I know about the curse of the Heron Hall. I know that he can find his way in, but he got these tongueless dudes rolling in and just cooking these dudes like no problem. But then I also love that because it's like, F it, get this mess out the way. I couldn't stand that clown and his dad anyway, so both of them needed to go.
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that's right.
We
Here
got
comes
somebody.
Here
Mr.
comes the
Come
real.
with the sea smoke is here.
What's the name of this show, right? I mean, what's the name of the series? Game of Thrones, right? Are people playing the game or are they not? Is always my question.
Facts.
People who don't play the game get murked. Look,
That's
and
facts.
your man last week, Longmouth, deserved to die too.
Not Longmouth.
Not Ginger Pussy. No.
I can't say that one, but
Longmouth.
yeah, that man went no mouth, deserved to die. Over
That
here
one.
frolicking in the grass, like a fool, talking big talk at a wedding that you can't back up. That's your other problem.
He
Like,
was talking big shit.
shut your damn mouth. Don't nobody need to know what you know. You out here just, like you got all the shit in the world backing you up. You didn't. And that's what you found out. What is it saying? And find out.
My issue.
What did he do?
He fucked around and found out. My issue is
Yeah.
people talking without no plan. Like
No,
I said, all
and
that
he
shit
had no
was
plan.
saying,
He was just like,
and then
"Do-do-do."
even like I said in the introduction, just saying, I'm the knight of kisses. And what does this mean?
And
What-
then what?
and then what? Right. I also thoroughly enjoyed Laena for all the reasons everybody said. That shit really, oh man, I poured one out for her when she went out. But I also was like, I felt the power and the energy behind what she was doing, right? Like, and I mean, everyone kind of can explain what they think that her reason was. Why did she self-immolate? Why did she do that? Was it because she was just over the shit? She was over being used? What
I think-
made her say fuck the shit? Was it just the pain of just going through life? Like, what was it?
I think she looked around her, saw who was in the room, knew what happened last time to someone who was in a
To Viserys' wife,
when they
was talking that
with
dumb
one
shit.
of these brothers.
Yep.
Remembered that situation.
Yep.
Saw, because it wasn't until she saw the guy who was, I don't think he was a maester because it's Pentos. They don't have maesters over there really. And again, a note for more midwives, like more women midwives, because men don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry, when they're helping women through childbirth. Like it's a big reason why maternal mortality is the way it is. But anyways,
not claiming to.
The way that she looked, she was like in her moment, in her pain, trying to give birth in labor. She looked up, saw the man chatting with her husband, and was like, "This ain't it.
Not me.
This ain't it. Like this is not me." Mm-hmm. And so I love how Vhagar kind of was looking at her like, "Are you sure, girl? Like,
bitch, I would rather not. Right now?
I would rather not."
You
but
woke me up.
Saying it.
No. But Vhagar said, "Bitch, are you fucking for real right now?" Like,
Vhagar was like, I know you're in pain right now. Right. Like, I see you with this belly. Just, I see you, and I know you say you want fire, but do you really want this?
Okay,
right. Cooked her up like a hot dog, like the baby shower meatballs, just like fire.
I had two thoughts during that scene. One, because it's Game of Thrones, I thought a baby was gonna crawl out of that fire. Like,
wait a minute, I have a question. I thought, and maybe is it just Daenerys? I thought them niggas was fireproof. What happened?
Not that fire.
That man's
old, bro. That dragon got old fire.
He got that long night. He got that long fire. Like that's some different type fire. Like but Portia, somebody who knows some shit. Portia knows she's the maester of this group. Nigga, I thought all the Valyrian blood niggas was fireproof.
No.
Ain't none of them dragons fireproof.
It's not even the Targaryens, because the Mad King was known for always, much like his son Viserys, tossing around the idea, "Oh, we're fireproof. Oh, we're fireproof," and he kept playing around with fire. And one of the last things he did was use wildfire on Ned Stark's crew, on his daddy and all of them. So that's why Ned Stark had freaking beef with the Targaryens, because of the Mad King killing his family.
Right.
And so also his sister. So the Targaryens, when they go mad, will play around with, they get pyromaniac. Like, they really just go there.
Is it just a Targaryen thing and not the like Laena's side of the family?
But Laena's also got Targaryen blood. Her mother's a Targaryen.
So only Daenerys got that shit. Why Daenerys?
She fucking it was magic. It was magic. I think Daenerys was only pure magic because there hadn't been dragons born in such a long time at that point with her, that she was reintroducing dragons to the world by having an ultimate sacrifice, which is her love, for the love of these dragons. Yeah. So it was just like a magical birthing. It wasn't supposed. It was not supposed to. Like they are, as you see with Viserys the king now, they're not immune to invulnerable, right? And like whenever they've cauterized his skin and stuff or whatever, like it still affects him. He still gets burned. So it's not like they're fireproof. No, it's just that Dany was special by reintroducing that magic element to the world.
Well, that makes sense now, but I swear to God, when Laena did that, I thought she was gonna be Johnny Storm in this bitch. Like I really thought it was gonna be alright.
I thought the baby was gonna be alright, but I knew she was done.
And then when they did the last scene and all you saw was fucking bones, I said, well, holy shit! Like I didn't expect that.
Oh my God. It's like he ate extra hot Cheetos and shit, just roasted her ass. She was dead. Just not even dead. She was more than dead. And
but that's how Dragonfire goes, though.
I mean, that shit burnt up that lamb chop, and I mean, extra well done. So I mean, God,
right? Made some curry goat.
All right, but my thought on her cooking herself was that she did it so that the big dragon would go to her daughter. Because like you said, she looked around the room, she realized the situation. She's like, my husband only really cares about me for these dragons when it really comes down to it. You know, he's about these dragons and this money life. He ain't about this life that I'm really about. He ain't going back. Yeah, you know, he's Daemon. We already know what he's about. And she's realizing it after all these years. So I think that was her choice because she's like, you know, and also it's going bad and he's going to kill me anyway. And then he's going to have another kid. It's like, you know, it's gotta slow this down.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
I see. She's slowing down that runaway train. So one of the other things I wanted to mention, Ben, you said you couldn't stand Lionel and Harwin, but nigga, I fucking love Harwin beating the bricks off of Sir Cole. That shit was great
Yeah.
because Sir Cole's a snotty nosed motherfucker,
Yeah.
and he deserves to get his fucking shit rocked.
I hate him too.
Okay, so we agree on that.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love that. What was unfortunate though about that scene is that it paralleled exactly when Cole was beating the shit out of Ginger Bussy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was unfair as hell. I was just like, okay, so you allowed Christian to kill Ginger Bussy. Even though he came with the Valerians, he came with the nobles, okay?
He's a
But still. And so all he did was, he didn't even kill him.
no.
All he did was punch him. Are you serious? Oh, you can't be the head of the Night's Watch? If he can't be the head of the Night's Watch and he didn't even kill Kristen, how is Kristen still? It don't make sense.
So
Well, I
we
mean,
notice there's a lot of hypocrites in the court, though, and they're the ones who are holding
Right.
power. Yeah. So the thing about like Harwin is that he's a like City Watch and like Gold Cloak, so those are lower in regard than the Kingsguard will ever be with their white cloaks. So and also again, his father is being more noble than most other people at the court would be because he didn't have to go up to him. Like you saw how the king was like, you don't have to resign. Like, why would you have to resign? Your son has been demoted. Like, so it's like there's a lot to go with that. I think it's more about like them showing Viserys like loyalty than it is them like owning up for like feeling a type of way about Kristen getting smacked in the face.
Do you think it's just about loyalty, or is it also a way to play the game of Thrones too, right? Like he knows he got to get his son the fuck out of there because that's just from a strategic standpoint, that's not a good look on the Strong family, right? Like forget all the whispers and all the other shit. Just even, and I'm not going to say like, to me, Lionel's not this power hungry type, but I also feel like for him to even have a career going forward, like he got to make some strategic choices and he can't let his son out here, even though it's been years now, out here fathering all these illegitimate kids. So with Daenerys, Rhaenyra rather. So, I mean, is it because of his just loyalty or is it also because he's trying to save, you know, the little bit of, I guess, cred that his family name has?
I feel like you could say that, but like at the same time, I feel like he brought his sons to court for a reason.
Right.
Like Alicent made his daughter go see the king at night for a reason. So I feel like that's part of the like thing that bothers me is like the people trying to play these subtle games and act like they're innocent when actually they're playing the subtle game. And you have to live and die. If you're gonna play the subtle game, do it. But just like keep your hand close to your chest. And I think that Harwin messed up him playing the subtle game because he left it all loud and he's like, nah. Like he was still at court after like how old is Rhaenyra's oldest kid? Probably like 8 or 9 or something.
Some shit like that, yeah.
And he was still at court after all them whispers for the first one. So he's been letting it slide until his son freaking burst out on the freaking ground. Like, so I feel like they've been playing a subtle game the whole time. It's subtle. Because, I mean, those kids look straight up like, but subtle.
And it ain't a good game. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have no respect for Harwin. I don't love Cole. I don't love none of them. But Harwin was an idiot, too. Like, he's out there beating this man up. All he had to do was like, yo, it looks like your kid too, though, bruh. You know what I mean? That's all he had to do. And step off.
He wasn't thinking.
Does. Yeah, but no, he wasn't thinking. And he ain't playing the game right. And now he did.
Shit.
That was great.
Ben, this little boy is a fucking idiot. And you already said that you not like him, but I just wanted to share that he was one of my likes. Aegon.
Really?
Is that Timothy Chalamet? Like why? Who's this boy?
David Tyrant's son. I don't know what his name is though.
But number 2, he's a fucking menace. Like I see I don't think he's as good of a menace as Daemon, but he's on his way. He's like a mix between Daemon and Little Joffrey right now. And I don't think he's quite there yet, but he's on his motherfucking way. And Alicent is twisting him towards that point because right now he's just a fucking he's just an idiot, right? He's just an aloof dunce that's just like, I just want to live my life because he's a kid. He's just out there just being a kid, right? Just doing dumb shit like fucking jerking off in front of the window. But when you start coupling that with that strategy and that whole subtle game, and sometimes not so subtle Game of Thrones, then that's when you start getting some real, power plays going. So I just like him for the sheer chaos that he's going to bring in. And because the nature of the show is fucking chaos, the nature of the show is be as outrageous as possible. So I feel like he's going to bring that shit for me.
He's a little more Tommen than Joffrey.
Tommen was a sweetie pie. You sure?
I mean, Tommen was also an idiot.
Tommen took
Maybe a mix.
Yeah.
Tommen did a swan dive into the rest of the end of his life. I don't think Aegon would do some shit like that.
No,
and also,
Aegon going out fighting.
Were they trying to be funny too? With Aegon standing like what looked like to be the same window Tommen jumped out of?
Yes. Yes, they were.
I think Aegon, honestly, he gives me. Did y'all see with the actual Queen of England dying or whatever, and King Charles taking over and signing papers, and how he was just for clips whenever he needed someone to replace his pen, and he was just being a whole spoiled little a-hole about it.
Yeah.
That's what Aegon gives me. He's just gonna be a spoiled little a-hole. He's one of those really privileged rich kids who is detached from real life. I think he was lying to his mom whenever he was not, I didn't start it. No, the other kids did. I just went along with it because he's a twat. No.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And then I guess this show is heavy-handed with this metaphors and stuff. So is he literally saying fuck the world? I don't give a fuck about nobody.
I just think he was just doing it because he thought it was fun. He was also leering at the maids in the yard as he was supposed to be sword fighting and falling down again. We keep seeing little boys knock down dudes who are older than them in the sword yard. Fact. And if you can't fight, say that. Stop being in the middle of stuff. Just because people expect you to have swordplay, you don't need to. It's fine. Sit on the sidelines, get some archery, do something else. Just don't do it.
Fact.
Aegon nice with it though. They showed that. Aegon was down there.
Aegon is nice.
Yeah.
With it. He got some skills.
Yeah. I don't like his face.
I don't either.
I don't like
small.
His
he
face.
has a very punchable face.
He reminds me of the Viserys, Dany's brother. That's who he reminds me of in the
Oh right, the
soft
one that got
bread.
the golden crown.
Right.
His whole visage is that Viserys.
Yeah. Speaking of Viserys, that's probably the last thing I liked about this episode. Was again for comedy reasons, and also the nigga is old as hell. He looked like the Crypt Keeper, and he will not fucking die. And I just think it's funny. Every episode we see him, he's losing more and more appendages or limbs or something. And this time when we see him 10 years later, first of all, I thought that nigga was finished last episode, but apparently he still made it 10 years and he lost his whole fucking left arm, bro. Done.
That man's gonna be gross by the end of the season, and I can't wait for it.
He's gross already.
Oh, it's gonna get real gross.
You didn't tell me that man don't smell disgusting. As Chika said earlier about pH levels, that way that man probably smells like boiled meat every time he walks around the castle. And everybody's just walking.
Nigga smell like bologna.
that man smell like an apartment building. At 7 p.m. when you walk through the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Like boiled chicken.
No.
Nigga smell like liverwurst. But the thing I do like about Viserys is, despite the clear and obvious signs that his daughter be lying, that his daughter be making up fucking stories, he still protects her. He still's Rhaenyra wouldn't do that. That's not true. It's the nigga, I am showing you all the evidence. I'm showing you your daughter robbed this bank. Here's her on 4K HD on camera. Here's her holding the goddamn money bags. And he goes, that wasn't her. So that's why I fuck with him, because he's at the end of the day, he ain't gonna let his child go out like that. I fuck with that.
No, I will say this. There is plausible deniability on Rhaenyra's part. Because he literally can plausibly deniability his way out of that. We know it's not right because there's not a spit of blacking them shit out. None of them.
Wait,
none
Portia, wait. Now you're making me feel like Alicent here. There's plausible deniability about them kids.
Portia
my
about to
nigga.
start telling stories about horses.
Because they don't have to be Strong's kids, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, there's plausible deniability, okay?
Right.
Like, they
However-
don't got to be his.
However, we know people know they ain't Christians because Christian hasn't fucked with Daenerys for Daenerys.
They don't got to be the
Rhaenyra
only
for
bitch
10
she
years.
going. Like, there's a whole court of men.
Oh, trust
Right.
it probably ain't. But what I'm saying is that it don't matter as long as it ain't, bullheads kids. That's the problem.
Right. A bullhead is what you call it, Laner. The thing is, as far as I know, anytime you have a child with a Targaryen or Valerian, whatever these niggas with the blood, the dragon blood, they come out with this hair.
Her
okay?
hair, she is a Targaryen. That's why it's like that's not a good thing to know. She literally is the blood of the dragon. She is the white-haired one. Why would her kids not look like her if that was always the thing?
Yeah, that's the point. That's why.
If that was a dominant gene, no, literally no. If Targaryen is a
I get what
dominant
you're saying.
gene, no matter how many people have sex with Targaryens, if the dominant
Right.
gene always leaned Targaryen silver, then her
Right.
kids would still be silver haired because she is a silver haired Targaryen.
This is true. How come
So-
Alicent's kids have silver
Jon
hair? And
Snow.
Alicent don't got the blood.
And Alicent don't got the blood.
This is true. And that's the point Viserys was making. Viserys, when Alicent
That's what I'm saying. Plausible
But Alicent-
deniability.
When Alicent pulled up on him and says, "Don't you see this shit? Here's the evidence." He said, "Well, there's such thing called as science and DNA." Like, he really went in on her with the science.
Dominant and
Like,
recessive genes. Let me
Right.
tell you about the little square that they
but
you
this
do.
is what gets me about
that
this
man
show.
went full Maury on her.
This what gets me about the show. This shit goes right full point. Like, the shit is just ridiculous. And then this nigga comes with the fucking DNA test, and it's just like, how do we
But
get
they
serious
don't
about this?
have the DNA. All they have is court gossip. They don't have any actual and like evidence. The girl even said, did you see the stallions F each other? Literally, did you see her F freaking Harwin? Is that because if you have a witness, did you saw it with your own face that she was having sex with Harwin, then we probably got something to say. But until that day, and you count 9 months out, and that's the kid, then we have something. But you don't. You don't have that
Right.
evidence.
Well, Viserys might be a horrible king, but he's a great dad. That nigga
I love him
Yeah.
for being like,
Lie
and
on
I'm
his
gonna stick
child.
beside him, and I'm gonna stick beside him.
Right. If she lie, I'ma accept the lie. Okay.
Hey,
Shit.
Okay. All right. So I think we had our fill of things we liked. We liked there's several things that are great about this episode. What did we dislike either about the episode or about the people in the episode? BenHaMeen, I would love for you to chime in here.
let me scroll down a bit and see. Okay, let's see what I have here. Aegon being an idiot child was definitely something that I dislike.
That didn't make you laugh?
Oh, it made me cry with laughter. Like his mom shaking his ass up. You are the threat, like that shit was. She
He
pulled
still
the,
had.
You
she
are
pulled
the
the
threat,
Lawrence
my
Fishburne
nigga.
on that man in Boys in the Hood. Like, you're the prey, like, get it together, son. Yeah, that shit was great. I loved it. I also I want to know what's up with her daughter. Is her daughter like ain't
her
something
daughter,
quite right there? I guess
Nah,
that their
bro.
relationship is a bit strained, but it also,
Bro,
my girl was focused on that centipede, in a way that I was like,
bro, Allison's daughter is Wednesday Addams. That little girl's creepy as fuck. No, when she was doing all that, and I was sitting there like, I think it has eyes. I
she about
know
to
it
eat
has
that
eyes.
joint like Tyler the Creator and shit. Like that girl is off. But
very scary.
I can't say I dislike that. I like I said, the things that I really disliked, but I also loved. I mean, I didn't like seeing them dudes get their tongue cut out. Like, I'm looking away. I dislike this show's use of gore. I think it is completely over the top. I think it's been that way since the first episode. I just think it's like they know what Game of Thrones people think that they want, and so they're just doubling, tripling down on it. And I think it's silly for a lot of it. Like, the whole birthing scene in the first episode was so ridiculous because you just have no emotional connection, and it's just like, whatever, this just gross for grossness sake.
Since you mentioned the birthing scene, what about the opening of this episode with the sound effects of Rhaenyra giving birth?
I mean, what about the one with Laena? All these birthing scenes are
all
bit unnecessary.
all these are cool and unnecessary. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, how did you feel about that? With I'm a sound person, so when I just heard all that, like, I understand trying to say, oh, this is natural, but no, it was just giving like, why y'all being so graphic? I didn't understand.
that didn't bother me as much. I think I was so focused on the new actors doing their job, and I thought she was killing it right then. So I was like, I was trying to into it. I not into it in that way, no, not like that, like, ugh, no. But
hey yo,
yeah, I don't even know what that is, and I don't want to. I
I
never
hear you.
clicked that one on the hub.
I thought she was birthing a dragon the way they was making it sound. So I don't know what.
In the beginning, I didn't even think it was birth. I was just like, "Oh, we just going straight into sex, aren't we?" Oh wait, damn.
No,
Never mind.
It wasn't the sound of like the gore. That the gore factor for me of her giving birth was not the like sounds of it all. It was the fact that like it was super cruel. The way that this lady like Rhaenyra's uke was still bleeding.
Afterbirth.
She was passing the afterbirth
Yet.
as the nurses prepared to put the child in her arms so she could walk upstairs. And she, as you see that they pan to like after they leave the room, how there's blood as she walked. So the whole time she was walking around and all the courtrooms like, oh, congratulations. Oh, congratulations. When she kept going up the stairs, and there's just a blood trail coming behind this lady the whole time. And then she gets up there, and the king is just like, oh, another grandson. How great. Not even thinking about how this lady, the Ute was not good. Like there was no time for Rhaenyra to sit down and actually gather and like heal at all. And Alicent made that happen. Alicent made her Rhaenyra have to come upstairs. This is all Alicent, and like Alicent knows that Rhaenyra will never do that to her, and she is like doing this stuff just to be cruel because the whole reason she did it was to have the baby in her face to say that it was a strong. You could have waited till that baby was a good fresh 3 months. You could have waited a long effing time and it still would have had the same remarks as you've been trying to say this whole time. So for what reason?
It was cruel. Said, keep trying, maybe you'll get one that looks like you. First
she did say that, but
that's some cold-blooded shit, and I heard that's from the book, but that's some cold-blooded shit, bro. Go ahead, Chika.
I have a theory, okay? Listen. Okay, so we already talked about the fact that Alicent, she had vibes in the beginning. Her and Rhaenyra, it was like, ooh, like, we finna touch each other, whatever.
Scissoring,
I think this is the closest that she will ever get to smelling Rhaenyra's coochie, is to have that baby fresh out. Bring that baby over there so that she could be like, she gotta know. That's why she did it. That's my theory.
I
want to run out this box. This box I'm in on this video chat. I want to fucking run.
Ghostface Killer said, "Pregnant pussy make you fall out." I've never. I don't know.
Oh my God.
If I can't have it, I'm going to smell it. And that's what Alicent wanted.
Look at poor Portia.
That's what Alicent wanted, okay? Along with having her insults, because it's never going to be you, Alicent. Of course, biologically, it's never going to be you. You're not in 2022. Some of that can actually low-key happen. But no, we in Fantasyland. You can never have her children. So all you can do is just smell what it's like. Smell the baby. Okay, that's why she had Kristen, but you know that song, Smell Your Dick? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. The smell wore off. It wore off.
Smell Your Dick has a different reference.
Oh, it's about cheating. But she was smelling it because she wanted to Rhaenyra.
Bro, I can't fucking breathe. Please stop. Relax.
I just like the herons and
right. Y'all, make sure that you are subscribed to us on your favorite podcast platform for all nerds that listen to Castle Black. And make sure you're watching us on YouTube for All Nerds TV so you can see us fucking dying right now because Chika just be saying any old fucking thing. Portia, I am with you. I'm with you about the cruelty of Alicent and why I didn't fuck with her. Chika, you're right too in a different way, but you're right.
Yeah.
Out of line, but correct.
Out of line, but you're not wrong. The other question I had is like the cruelty, not just of Alicent and everything, but the whole system. Like no one was like, "Yo, please stop." I mean, yeah, Laena was like, "Bro, you need to sit down," but that nigga ain't really here for her. So I'm just like, no one was like, "Stop," or "Here's some help," or "You're bleeding." Like nobody, like you said, her dad was like, oh, another boy. Like
they don't care.
niggas
They
was
are out
oblivious.
here
Like these women are just
killing
birthing machines.
mamas. They
You
are
can't
out
tell
here.
me that Corliss, if it were him, would have been like, F to the no to the queen. Tell the queen she can take her,
Right.
bring her silly little butt
Yes.
downstairs, what she can
Right.
do.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
If she want to see the
Corliss
baby
was
that
like,
bad,
fuck you.
she can bring her little legs down this freaking stairs the way that she can. She
Yep.
And funny enough, Laena said the same thing before.
he said it, but he didn't move behind it. Like
He
he's
ain't got
his
no
father's
weight behind
son.
it.
He like
ain't had
had
no
a
weight.
inclination.
And Rhaenyra said, move, you bitch ass nigga. I'm gonna go do this. And here's the other thing about it. Rhaenyra also, it's like her show of force and also her ego that's making her do this, right? Like, yes, Alicent was doing that to be cruel, and she was also just fucking with Rhaenyra and wants her to suffer. But at the same time, Rhaenyra is playing into that because of her ego. And
I think she wants to be a
something Rhaenyra
martyr.
has
I
when
think
was
she
a
wants
girl.
to play martyr to the court. I think she wants to be like, I'm not the cruel one. Alicent is. Look at it. She's making me walk all these stairs. And meanwhile, they're all just like, oh my gosh, congratulations on the child that just came out your legs 2 seconds ago and you're still bleeding.
But I think what was even crueler is Alicent gaslighting her once she got all the way up the fucking top of the steps. She was just like, oh, you didn't have to get up right now. Bitch, you summoned me. You the queen. What I'm supposed to, if I say no, then what? Like, come on, bro. Like, so I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Chika, tell me some of your dislikes.
Okay, so aside from Alicent only being able to smell Rhaenyra's coochie this way, the other thing I disliked was Kristen. Kristen's a whole ass bitch, okay? She only went and hopped up on you and did the diddly bop one fucking time. And you call her spoiled cunt? She ain't do nothing to you. You still alive. The Hugh is still alive. You are alive. What is his name? Jacaerys? Jacaerys could very well be Kristen's baby. We don't know if she drank that tea. And then here you are playing against her. You're talking shit about her and everything. You are still alive. Like, if she actually, to be honest, if Rhaenyra decided to be like, yeah, I fucked him, couldn't he die? Couldn't he?
Potentially.
He could still die. And so I just don't understand why, like, Alicent, yes, she's behind him, but Rhaenyra could very well also kill him, and he's just getting too froggy for me, and I find that very disrespectful.
But Kristen doesn't want to live. Kristen does not. He don't want to live. He was ready to seppuku himself before he got saved.
He was.
And she should have Alicent should have let him, but no, she didn't, because she wanted to go and smell what Rhaenyra looked like, and that's why we still here today. And then aside from that, I dislike Larys because he has a club foot, right? So you already disabled. And then here you go and you disable other people so they can't speak on you and what you're doing. And then you kill your over a redhead bitch. You don't even know if she gonna be for you the way you think she's gonna be for you. Okay? And I think the issue with Alicent, because she unleashed Larys on everybody, is that she wanted to consider herself holier than thou. I got married. I did things the right way. Rhaenyra's not doing things the right way. I want her out of here. She tries to manipulate her family, her weird ass son with his literal nut juice on his hand. Look, oh, yo, Rhaenyra is terrible. You need to stand up for your brother, this, and that, and everything. She wants to be holier than thou. And then Larys goes and kills his family. And she's like, oh, wait. You do that? And it's just like, no, you can't play, oh, I'm holier than thou. You dirty too. You dirty.
Yeah.
You been dirty ever since you've been under that liver spot man.
Right. Chika, you sounded like she was like, well, me and daddy was just on the plantation. I don't understand what I did wrong. Like, she coming off like she didn't.
I cannot believe it. It is amazing. I did not know.
I didn't realize that was going to happen. Listen, I agree with you. Sir Christian is a fucking loser. And the thing that gets me about him is he reminds me of the niggas that be like, oh, no one wanted to fuck with me when I was young because I was a dork. It was like, no, because you were a fucking loser, right? And like, he's still mad. Like, that's what he reminds me of. The niggas, the niggas that just no one liked because of valid reasons, and y'all attributed it to something dumb, like, oh, because I like anime. No, nigga, everybody likes anime. We didn't like yo ass. Like, you was the fucking weirdo. And that's the vibes he gives me. He's still mad over all these years, nigga. And he's jealous, clearly. Like, he's jealous of Harwin. He's jealous of everybody else. Like, he's bitch made. And
Alicent is also jealous. You saw her at a small council
Yep.
meeting. Rhaenyra had the better freaking
big
points.
jealous.
Right.
And I just want to say for Rhaenyra, you know you that witch when you cause all this conversation. So that's just how the whole court rocks with her. That's how Alicent rocks with her. That's how Kristen, like, they're only salty because they can't get with her side. And it's like, you chose to not be on her side. Like, you're choosing dumb reasons to not be on her side. It's all your choice. So it's not, the way that she was ready to acquiesce to whatever the court needed to do and be for them to be a house of harmony. And Alicent was like, we'll take it under consideration. Girl, get out of here. Bye.
Right.
Ugh.
Did you think that was a fair? Now, now, do you believe more so on Alicent or what Viserys was trying to say? Like, was I keep calling her Daenerys? Was Rhaenyra really trying to extend an olive branch, or was she, as Alicent was saying, just because she was cornered, so she was just trying to find her way out by offering that truce?
I think it's a bit of both.
Facts.
Why not both?
Facts.
Yeah.
But I also think Alicent said that because she sees her sons as dirty. So she's like, they're beneath us. They're dirt.
Face.
Oh yeah, definitely that. Yeah, Alicent don't fuck with them little bastard children.
Yeah.
I also want to add to the Cole haters club because I also cannot stand that man. I did listen to last week's and I know I thought that I actually came around to your point about he might have attacked that dude because of his persuasion. I also I think he really just attacked him because he was jealous. It's that jealous bitch shit, which Cole definitely is. Where he's like, oh, you can't have happiness. If I can't have it, you can't either. So he goes over and kills his happiness. I do, and Nicole, like I tweeted this, is straight up the prime example of, for those who play Dungeons and Dragons, a lawful good character or a paladin, especially because he believes in the right of law to the point where it does not matter. Common sense just does not exist in his world.
It's black and white.
And I can't stand that. I love those who've been longtime Castle Black listeners know I love the Lannisters. I love Jaime and Cersei because I feel like they play the Game of Thrones. And the rest of these clowns out here don't be playing the Game of Thrones. I think so far, Rhaena is, she doing all right. I don't know though. But man, I don't know who's really, playing it well so far.
It's Rhaenyra. And then it was Otto Hightower was honestly the one who's playing the most game.
Yeah.
And then
Otto
he
was the
overplayed
old
himself.
hand. The original
the former hand.
Alicent's dad.
He got suckered pretty quick. You know what I mean?
No, he got suckered because
he got put out of the game for a second. He was on the bench. But we just saw that there's plenty of way for him to...
Right. I'm about to say, and I could argue he's never left the game because
he put that in his daughter's ear this whole time.
Yes. He put that seed into Alicent, and Alicent been carrying his motherfucking seed for 10 plus years.
She never missed her father before she got to where she was. But before he pointed out that Rhaenyra could kill her sons, she never really had a reason where she ever seemed like she really actually did not like Rhaenyra. As soon as he planted that seed of she could kill your sons, that's when you start seeing Alicent grow more and more looking out for any signs of trouble with Rhaenyra, because she was preaching on Rhaenyra's side for having her claim to the throne until whenever he said that. And so I feel, and I'm not to say anything about how mothers can be mothers, but I just don't think she likes her sons. The way she be talking to them, I don't think
Alicent
she cares
don't
about
like her
them
own
that.
sons.
She don't like her children.
Alicent.
Yeah, no, she don't like her children.
She don't like them niggas at all. She don't want to be
around
like
none of them.
She's using them as pawns. I don't think she actually cares if they're on the she doesn't like them as people. She doesn't know who they are and why they shouldn't be on the throne. She just wants to play the pawns as them being her part of her power. I don't think she cares about.
That's kind of part of the reason for Larys's little limerick that he said at the end. He mentioned that fact about kids just being, a hindrance or a nuisance and all that other stuff. And even though Alicent's not going to own up to it, that's exactly one of the many things that she's feeling about these little niggas. She just, her pick-me them. She don't give a fuck.
That ain't going to save you, is what he said. Yeah.
Now, because y'all talking so much about Alicent, she was one of the things I disliked, the people I disliked, because to me, her moveset was pissing me off. And she's wild annoying because for her to be acting like her daddy like that, I wrote it as perpetuating patriarchy because she's petty. Like, there's like, for example, like just as you said, Portia, generally she had no reason to dislike Rhaenyra. Everything was fucking cool. And what could have happened if everything stayed cool with them, right? Say everything goes through as planned, Rhaenyra becomes queen. How she don't know that Rhaenyra as queen can now try to change society, change how shit is run, and not do the same shit men do. But no, Alicent keeps perpetuating that dumb shit. Oh, you know she can kill your kids. How do you know?
Rhaenyra, if she had just stayed on Rhaenyra's side, if she had stayed in Rhaenyra's good graces, there would have been none of this. And she didn't have to do that. She literally could have even made up for how crappy she's been to Rhaenyra in this episode by accepting her proposal or whatever. For like they can annul or like take away the proposal at any time. She could have just did it to smooth the waters and get over it all. But she's so hung up on, oh, I'm the one in the right. Can't you see how wrong it is that she's getting away with having sex willy-nilly? Oh, what's going to happen next? We're just going to like her having sex willy-nilly? We can't have that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
But she mad.
She's jealous of her having good sex, too.
Yes.
That is also another thing.
Yes.
Because she's been under that liver spot man all her life with her summer's eve, actually with honey pot, because she needed some tingle, okay? She been under that liver spot man, and she could not have good sex. She has to look up to the sky and pray to God for it to be over. But Rhaenyra, all Rhaenyra has had is good sex, and she's mad, and she can't even have Rhaenyra. And so now, anyway, yeah, I got you. The jealousy is there.
Yeah, Alicent been mad. That's why she hate her kids, because she was forced to have these kids with, as you said, liver spot, smell like boiled chicken man over here. You know, her life has
Mr.
been...
Burns.
Excellent. Yeah, her life has been terrible this whole time. You know, while over here, Shorty is, much as I didn't like him, you know, Harren was a smooth looking dude. Like,
he was.
You know, it was like she kept it moving, boy. Cole, she was like, okay, then, next up, you know.
Yeah, and you know it's
another
big.
one every 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes.
She was not stressing, boy.
Another one.
She's like, there's so many of y'all little curly haired white boys in this realm.
That's why so many. Is that why there's so many niggas that look like Jon Snow?
Also, another one. Also your boy, Laena, right? Leah. Sea Smoke Man.
Laena.
Bolcut keeps it moving too. I'm not mad at him. Bolcut kept it moving, boy.
He got his new boosie.
How you gonna wait 3 kids and then name that hoe Joffrey?
I was so mad about that. I was he was holding on to that one. He was really hoping we could sneak that into the last, like, Joffrey. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that y'all want to talk. I mean, I don't know if that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
no, it's disrespectful. It's wildly disrespectful.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, first of all, yeah, it's your wife's son. You know, she should have an order in it. Also, you name it over that man who got beat to death in front of her. Like, yeah.
Literally his wife's son, not his son. His wife. Yeah. He knows.
I mean, he did right. That baby ain't brown.
Okay,
he never dipped his dick once.
He probably did. He probably did just to say that he did what he needed to do, and then
consummated. I don't think he did at all.
No, because he would. Because she would have made sure he dipped it enough to get at least one brown.
One baby. Yeah. No, he never did it. And the thing is,
if he were smart, he would have did that.
Yeah, he ain't smart though.
He's the Adam Levine of the episode. Okay, trying to name his wife's baby after his. That's what he is. Okay, girls like you, man, fuck you. Why'd you do that? She bleeded down the hallway. Joffrey, of all of the names, Joffrey.
Bro, I didn't even make that connection until you said it. God damn. Laena is Adam Levine. God damn. Okay.
I used to like Maroon 5 too.
Yeah.
Songs about Jane still go up, okay? Sorry about how
that first album was a classic.
Classic.
But yeah, I just, again, Laena pissed me off because of that, and just the nigga would even try. So, you know, he's just a fucking kid fucking running around gaming with his, you know, streaming buddy and not doing what he's supposed to be doing. But let's start wrapping up. We gotta go into what is this section? The chaos is coming, where we're gonna like see ahead about what we think gonna happen next episode, or any, you know, potence that we think that we see from this episode.
Laena dead. He got like 2 episodes at most.
I want Christian to be dead, but I know they're gonna keep him to piss me off. But one of the things I wanted to mention is, again, with the show being heavy-handed with its metaphors, the rats. The rats are nesting. They're no longer hiding. You notice when Viserys is just in that room fucking crying over his wife. I believe that's his wife's ring, right? He over in there crying. You see this rat running across the mantle. And the rat don't give a, it's not even trying to hide no more. It's like, hey, nigga, I'm out here. And that's what they're trying to say is what's happening with this house right now. Everything's out in the open. We see that with Larys activity and all that shit. And I mean, BenHaMeen, you said you think Laena's next to go?
I don't know about next, but I just do not think he's long to live. My man is out here like, oh, war and battles, what I need. Like, what?
Yeah,
niggas die every day, B. Like,
this man told you he's a child. Like he is acting like a fucking child.
Yep.
And he thinks he's playing Call of Duty. Like he just thinks this shit is a joke. And maybe because when you have a dragon, you think, oh, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me. But that arrow's gonna hit the wrong way.
Yeah.
Niggas on dragons get touched too,
every day, B.
Every day, B.
It's in the history books. You should read them.
What else y'all got in your chaos is coming? Portia.
I've got so I saw an overall theme of sins and sons, like over and over and over and over, and we're being repeated. With the Strongs, we see Lionel Strong, and he has the two sons, the Spy Master son and the Getting It On son, and here we go. Lionel putting himself up onto the Game of Thrones, put him in a position where his sons are where they are, and we're just keep seeing that sin pass over and over. And if they're ready, we see the way that Larys, the way he was ready to off his own family tells me this man
and did it.
I told you,
not ready. Did.
I told
problem.
Y'all, he is,
and he thought it through methodically. Like he was like, okay, I gotta go to the prison. I gotta take out the tongues. He did all of that. Like he already had it all master planned in his head.
Yes, because he's devious as fuck. This nigga, that's what I told y'all before.
Yeah,
he's a mixture of he's a mixture of Littlefinger and Varys. He's two niggas combined.
Varys, look at it. Boom. There you go.
He is a fucking fusion dance between these two niggas. He's Super Saiyan Blue out here when it comes to some devious shit. That's that nigga. That's the one.
I'm saying this man has been plotting on his family's death for a minute. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, he was waiting for a reason to take them out, and I want to know what the reason was, because I'm like, what do you have planned for yourself where you needed your father's holdings to get whatever you want to get done?
My man is about that life. Y'all over here worried about, he's not worried about the queen. He don't need her either. She can go too.
He already controlling her.
He just said it in front of her.
That's already his puppet.
He plucked the red flower in front of the red-headed, right in front of her. Like, you can get it too, Ma. You better reward me.
That's the same flower. Remember when they were in the courtyard before? That was that same flower that he said,
it didn't belong there.
It does not supposed to grow here, but it's thriving. He, as BenHaMeen said, he plucked that shit and said, it ain't thriving no more, and it's because of me.
Keeping it real, I think that Alicent wasn't crying because of what happened and what he did. I think she was crying because she realized that man actually had a strong hold on her now, because he can always just be like, the queen told me to I orchestrated murder of my father and brother. No, she made me do it against my will.
Yep.
And then now she's torn up. So she knows now she's really stuck with him. She can't get out of being his part of his whole schemes.
Also, it ain't even about what he gonna rat her out to do. That man can kill her, is what she just realized. This man murdered his family with no problem. Did not blink. Told her a poem afterwards. That is not, a dude you fuck with.
Gave her a haiku about it afterwards.
It's a problem.
Also, sins and sons. Viserys, just deciding to have sons with Alicent, he knew that he was setting himself up for there to be some turmoil with that, but he did it anyway, especially with that being his daughter's best friend. We see that come to play with his sons being trashed with that same best friend. And then Laenor approaching strategy the same way his father would. Oh, when a storm comes, a smart sailor sails away. Sure, but you're now on court with a princess who's the heir to the throne. And while she does come around to him later with that, I think that's going to continue to be the thing that blocks him from being able to do well there, is because he keeps thinking like a sailor and not like a dragon. And it's going to come to F him up.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any information or understanding about, I mean, I guess he's building it up now that that's his version of Son of the Harpies, whatever. But the whole thing with the beetle and the staff, and like he got this beetle assassin alliance going on.
This
What
shit
the
is
fuck
so
is
goofy.
this?
That's another thing. Like, if somebody finds these dudes, like, you got all these dudes with no tongue and a beetle
Wearing-
on them, or a
wearing the
little
same pin.
hornet. Yeah, it's like, dog, y'all obviously a crew. You know, who put this together?
Y'all
That's the
obviously
next
a motherfucking record label. So what's
It's like the serial killers who collect trophies. They just, if they want, part of them wants to have like something to remember, something to have be known about, like
Yeah.
if you know, and they just can't help it. It's like a reflex. Like,
yeah,
ooh,
Laris, he like Home Alone, the dudes who leave the water on. Yeah,
I'm laughing because
the Smash Bandits or whatever.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
always leaving the water on in the house, and that's how they got caught in it.
I'm laughing because that's like Laris giving them his own version of the Rockefeller chain. Like he's like,
Right.
That's the
I
worst.
don't even-
That's the worst chaining day ever.
I don't even want it to be a beetle. I want it to be a cockroach because he gives me cockroach energy. Because you
Yes.
smash one and then 80 of them show up. And
yes,
I feel like Laris is king of the cockroaches, the scammer. You think you killed the roaches, but they still there. The rats too. He's got a whole pest. All of this. They're all his family now.
Yeah.
yeah, indeed. Is there anything else? I think we covered just about everything. Anything last words about what we're gonna see in the future? Any Easter eggs or stuff that you want to point out that we should be paying attention to in the next episode?
Viserys looking gross.
Yes,
I'm
the
telling you,
gotta die. I've
there's
been
a-
waiting for him. Like,
There's a
We've been
shot
waiting
in
for
one
that
of
man
the
to die since
trailers that I'm
episode
waiting
1.
to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh,
there's a shot in one of the trailers that I'm waiting to see. I was like, oh, he gonna make it, and he gonna be. Ugh. I think that's him at least. It was something going on where I'm like, oh, is that Viserys now?
I
Yeah.
will say
Yeah.
that in the books that they make this man look real unappealing
Yeah.
towards his later days, and looks like they're going in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that we need to see it, but we're gonna get it.
We're gonna get it on
seems
this
like.
show.
And then my other
Yeah.
thought was that, again, keep your eyes on the colors people are wearing. What we're seeing as colors are saying exactly where they are right now in this moment. Right now, Rhaenyra is wearing silver and red. She's not wearing a specific color that we know is going to come later. We're seeing her wearing silver a lot. So she's still in a place of neutrality. She's still like in a flow state. Like she could easily be friendly with Alicent at this point in time. But things
okay.
change.
Watch what how they dressing. Go ahead, Chika.
Yeah, something that I wanted to mention is that Emma said that childbed is their battlefield. And I wanted to note that because it was a callback this episode. And then, you know, we got started and we see Rhaenyra birthing and she had her baby. We also saw Laena birthing and, well, she lost more than just her baby. She lost her life too. So it's interesting to just see the different callbacks, not even just to what previously been done in House of Dragon, but also in Game of Thrones as well. And I like to see how things will move forward. We'll see.
Especially with Damon. I think he's gonna be like Piccolo. He ain't taking care of his kids. So
not
Piccolo, it's gonna be Goku. He's gonna be absentee father.
Yeah.
It's bad enough them wigs are bad. Can you imagine if they had actual black girl hair and they're around all these white folks who don't know how to do black girl hair and it's just a mess? But I was gonna say the good thing about Game of Thrones is in this episode, they or throughout all these episodes of the womb is the battlefield. I feel like we are seeing a lot of, like, we saw birth control with Planty. Now we're seeing maternal mortality. Like, they're coming with the, like, all the thematic, like, topics of that we need more things on, especially in medieval times. I think that clearly, like, there was no way that those women are going to survive a lot of childbirth. So it's interesting seeing, like, they're trash on a lot of issues, but at least they're staying on top of some of these issues.
This shit is power, bro. Power in the medieval times. Medieval Maury, as I said earlier. But I fucks with it, and I'm going to be here next Sunday because we have to review episode 7. We are at the halfway, or marching past the halfway point now, so it's going to get crazier as we go along. But I just want to say thank you, everybody, so much for listening to us. Thank you for coming back, DJ BenHaMeen. Very happy to have you back in with the crew. If you loved what you... Oh, I'm sorry. Before I close you guys out, we have to have our Dragoon of the Week. BenHaMeen, this is some new shit for you. Dragoon of the Week could be your MVP of the episode, or it could be the person that's just the absolute worst. Portia, who's your Dragoon of the Week?
No secret, Lady Laena, Lady Laena. She is the way, she is the light, she is Gunica of this era of Game of Thrones, and I love that. And I want to see where them girls go with that as their example.
Yeah, and I had somebody else, but I'm gonna change it to Laena because like the more I just kept thinking about her, the more like she is like so impactful, bro. So she's from an MVP standpoint, like, and I'm just mad that she gone, bro. Like I feel like we just got her for her to be out. So she's my Dragoon of the week. Chika, who's your Dragoon of the week?
My Dragoon of the week is definitely Larys the Scammer, Larys the Cockroach. Okay, that nigga's crazy. Okay, maybe not as crazy as Daemon, but he's also crazy because he just outright killed his family on a fucking whim. I can't wait to see what fuck shit he's gonna do in the next episode.
Facts. And BenHaMeen, who is your Dragoon of the week?
All right. Since everybody has said them both, I'm gonna have to lean on Laena as well because she is my MVP. But for the worst character, I'm also gonna go with Alicent for Dragoon of the week because Alicent is the first redheaded woman on television that I have not been attracted to in a long time.
How dare she?
Failed me with her foolishness. I can't be attracted to stupidity.
That is some stupid shit, bro.
I can't do it.
Well, this has been a lively review of episode 6 of House of Dragons. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Please make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcast platform. We are everywhere. Subscribe to For All Nerds in order to listen to Castle Black, the Blackest Game of Thrones podcast in all the realms. Make sure you are following us on the Twitters, Castle Black Pod, as well as the For All Nerds Twitter. You can also follow us individually and have conversations about what we just talked about and everything in between. I'm at Tatiana King. You can talk to at Chika Supreme, as you see it on the screen, at DJ BenHaMeen, and then also Porshea, Porsheuh. And make sure you are supporting us in many different ways because if you love this, we need your support. Please make sure you are sharing and telling people about this show and make sure that they get into it because we love getting into all things Game of Thrones. Make sure you are supporting us financially. If you can, hit us up on our Patreon, patreon.com/forallnerds. Every tier is a great tier. Everyone who is on our Patreon gets special privileges, particularly for things like our merch. And you also get special access to content that people don't have except for unless you have been a patron. As I mentioned with our merch, go to tpublic.com/stores/forallnerds to get really cool shirts and designs. And soon as Castle Black logo will be available, so you can also rep your set, just like Larys and his whole Rockefeller chain gang. But make sure, as I said before, that you are also subscribed to us on YouTube so you can watch us go wild when we talk about this thing every week. For All Nerds TV. And soon we're going to be having some more merch soon in a new place. We'll announce that soon enough. But anything else, anything that I missed that y'all want to say or mention, please.
Play this episode 5, 6, 7 times. Just open a browser, put that hoe on mute, and hit press play. Do it for me.
Yeah,
do it for the realm. Do it for the realm.
Do it for the whore.